This is the Digital Savage Experience Podcast, hosted by Roman Prokopchuk, bringing you all things digital marketing, tech, business, and motivation. What's stopping you from becoming relentless in all aspects of life? Are you ready to become a digital savage? Let's get into today's episode.
Hey everyone, this is Roman Prokopchuk, and this is the Digital Savage Experience Podcast. Today I have with me Will Esterhuyse. Will is a sales funnel expert and runs his own agency, Consult Funnels, that helps online marketers get from 5 to 8 figures using sales funnels. Thank you for joining me today.
Awesome. Hey man, awesome. Thanks for having me on your show. I really appreciate it. And looking forward to getting into sales funnels, my world that I basically live in and breathe every single day. So yeah.
My pleasure. So how did you get to where you are now? Kind of where did you start? Have you always been in the space? And how did you get to the 2020 you?
Awesome, man. No, I actually started off as electrical engineer by trade. Way back when, as everybody does, they start off on a journey. And most likely, the normal pattern is you follow whatever your parents were doing, or what your parents usually say, you go study that or do this or that. So I did that path. I went and I studied as an engineer, got that full trade, and I just started working on a very small company. We were like a small startup company, and we built and designed like small wind turbines. And very fulfilling job, very nice, all good and well, but I always had a nagging feeling myself. Is this really what I want to do? And the more I think I started working in the job that I was, I more and more realized that, I loved it, the whole idea of it, and it's very green and everything. But it just always came back to me like I'm an entrepreneur inside of me, because way back when as a kid, I used to sell like candy at school, and to local people, I would sell all different things. I just really enjoyed it. I never just really fulfilled that journey. And I said, follow the path of least resistance, most likely with parents, and just started doing that. And that then transgressed when one day I was, as most people I think do sometimes, mess around on Facebook if you're not very proactive at your work at the moment. And I found this this post by one of my friends, and he was doing Amazon e-commerce. So he was doing private labeling, and that basically started this whole thing for me. From there, I did it part-time. I started building an e-commerce business, grew it about 5-6 figures, that one, which then naturally progressed into online marketing. When I started doing work for a company, which is one of my biggest clients at the moment, I started doing work for them part-time, went to a full-time job. And one of the things I did there in the beginning was just customer service, a lot of different things. So everything to deal with online business and putting up systems in place for a business, or like online business, or customer support, freight support, all those kind of things for e-commerce business that we were running. And then one day, one of the founders said to me, listen, they use a software to sell the courses that they use, and it's ClickFunnels, which is a sales funnel builder for the guys who don't know out there. And with my engineering background, maybe helping me out there, because I did a lot of design work and everything, I naturally progressed into sales funnels and started running that for them. And that then snowballed into getting more clients and working for references. And basically that's how the agency got started. And we've got a handful of clients we work with. We don't do not a lot of clients. A lot of people might say, I need 100, 200. We don't do that. Those kind of clients. We do very intimate size clients, or numbers of clients. But we really work with one-on-one, basically on the system, and they usually anywhere upwards from 50K and up, they do a monthly sale. So that's a quick overview, man. Maybe from where I got started from way back when and where I'm now.
Nice. And are the clients located predominantly in a specific geographic location? Are they global? How are kind of, that?
Very global. Luckily, with this online space, you don't have to basically be sitting in an office somewhere next to whoever your client is, or be in the same country. To be honest, I come from South Africa. I'm here in Cape Town. So I have no South African clients, because it's usually like an interesting space to speak to somebody. Most of my friends usually ask me like multiple times what I'm doing, but most don't know. there is a fair bit of movement here with digital space, but it's not close to where America and Europe and UK, those kind of Australia, New Zealand, those kind of the bigger size countries. So that's predominantly where my clients are based, mostly US, got a few in Europe, just because the time is very nice for me at the moment, but also US clients, I've got a handful of them also. So it's very widespread, and as I said, it's allowed me to kind of to work with more international people. So English is actually my second language. So so yeah, quite funny that, but yeah.
Nice. And are the clients kind of built out in different categories, or do you tend to focus on a specific kind of a type of company?
Yeah, so we focus mostly on online marketers, specifically online marketers, but with the niche being online course creators. So anybody who has a course, a digital course they're selling and promoting through sales funnels, be it from, well, it's very different. The niche specific, not really, in the sense of being, we've got clients on Amazon, we've got clients doing project management, we've got personal trainers. Wow, I just kind of have to quickly think about, we've got a wide range of people. It's no specific thing, because usually the pattern is very similar, especially when it comes to digital courses. What you're trying to sell and what you're trying to do is very similar pattern. It's kind of like a roadmap. There is some customization of certain clients and stuff that we work with to kind of fit with what they're doing, but it's mostly the same model kind of thing. So we usually use a few fixed funnels that we use, and we bring in, now and again, we bring a few new funnels to test out the market, because each niche basically has their own different reaction to a funnel in any case. So very wide, broad funnels we can basically, niches we can kind of focus on.
Nice. So what motivates you to succeed?
What motivates me to succeed? Well, it's very personal more, I think, than it's family. For me, it's a big thing. I've got maybe this chip on my shoulder that I want to be the one in the family that kind of almost makes it. I've got a lot of successful family and everything, but it's always just nice. Kind of, for me, it's a big thing. It's my family is my driving force. To kind of always go back to that core thing of what is the big motivation. So, because as an entrepreneur, I know a lot of times you ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I even starting this whole thing? And you get those days where you get massive dips. And yeah, I think everybody gets them. And somebody says they don't get them, I think they're not doing the right thing in any case. Because if you don't get those dips or those days where you kind of have to go back on why you're doing this, and as you said, why you want to succeed, then maybe your goal or what your reasons would be enough. And that's why I said my big goal is my family and looking after my family and everybody around me in that space. At the same time, also, I am an entrepreneur, and you live for the success. You live for those wins. Whenever we see a client getting, man, even if it's a small funnel, if they get $1,000 sales, or they get 2,000, 3,000, some of them are doing 500,000. Any small win for me, that gives you that boost, and it's like, yeah, I'm in the right space, and I'm loving what I'm doing. Yeah, you're going to get your crappy days where stuff is not going to go wrong. What's going to go wrong? Your funnels are going to break. The client's going to get in your case. Stuff like that happens. But that's again when I go back to my original success. Well, my original idea of why am I doing this and why do I want to succeed and get to where I want to be and set my goals.
Yeah, and I think it's important, like you mentioned too, one personal, motivator, and then one a professional. So obviously family or your inner circle plays a big part, and then whatever you do, you have to love what you're doing, and it's always gratifying when you have a services-based business, or you're helping other businesses to succeed, and when they do succeed, then in turn you succeed with them.
Yeah, it's always like you feed off the success, and that's most likely when you see a lot of the funnels that we have of our own services. It's usually not that great, but it's got the plain fact of we're so focused on our clients and getting them success, because that's where the importance lies. Because that's at the end of the day, if you can see that impact that you're doing and helping them make, because a lot of these guys have massive reaches out there, and you can see the stories coming through and the results they're getting, and it's just, it's amazing. It's cool to be in this kind of world, and it's again, it's ups and downs, but overall, I think it's more up than down.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool space, and the also kind of what is it, golden lining or whatever the saying is, you can work from anywhere, you know what I mean? All you need is an internet connection, which is awesome.
Yeah, we actually, my wife and I, we both work from home actually, and We traveled to, like for Thailand, we traveled for 2 months there. We just said, listen, let's go to Thailand, let's travel there. Funny enough, the internet was actually brilliant there. So a lot of people might have think, oh, Thailand, internet, it's actually pretty damn good there. We found a lot of awesome spots, traveled there. We've lived in Ireland for a year. We just went there, we had a client there also, which was great. We can kind of contact, a lot of contact with them. They built a very solid relationship with them while we were there. But at the same time, it just allowed us to travel. We've done a fair bit of travel in any case, but unfortunately, like South African passport, it's not that easy to travel. But mostly, yeah, it's allowed us to do a lot of stuff and travel and just get a bit of freedom. Where normally, if I had my 9 to 5 or 8 to 5, as we have in South Africa, then yeah, I would have been stuck by my desk, have to live for a weekend, get through a weekend, try and figure out what I'm going to do to relax today, that kind of thing. Where, yeah, there's challenges working from home, as you said, and working remotely. There is challenges always. We love to go to coffee shops now and again to get out of the house. I recently had, actually, funny enough, it's recently because we work from home, sometimes you get into your cabin fever. I don't know if you've had that yourself. You kind of didn't realize, oh shoot, I just spent 5 days inside the house. I didn't even realize that. That's a scary thought sometimes, but it happens. But I see it as a positive and a negative. Negative is being, I need to get out of the house. Positive is, clearly I was making a lot of progress and I couldn't lose the momentum and I stuck with it. And I got a massive results in that week in any case. So, and then the next week I would decide, let's turn it down a bit. Let's go and do a few fun things. Let's go do this or do that to relax a bit more. So, yeah, but it does allow me to do, my wife and I luckily, to do a few more things than normal. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, like you said, it's important if you are working from home or remotely, kind of break that monotony down. If you're working in your home office, if you can, go to a coffee shop or go somewhere outdoors, or kind of just break that routine up to add something to it and kind of, get out of a funk if you do get into it.
Yeah, we have a rule. We try and do at least 3 times a week. We try and get to a coffee shop or something, just to kind of get out of the house. Even if it's like 2-3 hours, you're getting out, maybe speaking to somebody else for a chance, something like that. And yeah, I've also got a set rule for also taking a bit of a break through the day and also exercising a lot. So otherwise, your brain is going to get clogged so heavily. So yeah.
Yeah, eventually you'll get burnt out if you don't add that exercise component. If you don't eat somewhat healthy, like you can work, 20 hours. You're not going to get to a point if you're not adding those components to that kind of daily lifestyle.
I try and get the balance. It's really difficult. It's not that easy because the health side of it, the wealth and relationships. So if you think about the wealth, yeah, that's the business. That's usually where you get caught up a lot and you kind of skimp on the rest just because. Yeah, we're entrepreneurs. We like to chase the progress we make. One thing I say, I think if I'm standing still, I'm actually not making progress. So you constantly want to make progress. But I think into the health side of things, which I'm trying to implement this year much better, because we work from home, there's no excuse to actually not eat healthy, but it's difficult. The goal is to kind of turn a little bit vegetarian this year, so we'll see how that goes. So far, so good. And then relationship-wise, that's the biggest thing for me, also a very key component, because without your wife, your partner, or your girlfriend standing next to you, it's really difficult. I've had a few conversations with a few guests in my podcast also, and big thing also relationship. If you don't have your partner invested with you in it, it's already adding another barrier for you to get over. I've just found it really bringing your partner into it. That's a fun thing. Like my wife is also working from home, which is giving her also the online space, but more easier to ease into. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important having some kind of support system, because if you are working remotely, if you are traveling, if you're kind of a digital nomad, which is popular, nowadays, if you're doing it alone, it gets somewhat lonely. So you need someone to talk to or share what's going on in your mind and what you're going through. And if not, eventually, you may get burnt out, you may get depressed, and it's not going to lead to productivity personally or professionally.
Yeah, definitely. No, we try and talk not too much shop whenever we're in a restaurant, but anyway, outside of that, if you're driving a car, we'll talk about a shop and just kind of vent about what happened today with this client and what happened to her client, and just kind of just get out of your head a bit, because a lot of people maybe think because you're working from home, you're constantly in each other's space, but actually, like my wife and I, we've got our own office, separate space, and yeah, you almost like the lunchtime you see, look at get each other, see each other at the water cooler, basically, kind of thing. So yeah, it's actually quite well. It's worked out so far very well. We've been doing it since 2016, right about there. So yeah, it's been working well since then. So yeah, so far so good.
That's awesome. So what's one weakness you've seen in yourself in the past that you've turned around and now utilize as a strength?
I think inconsistency was one of my problems. I think because especially when you're starting out, I think you want to get results quickly, because you want to get that feeling of, and in the beginning, I think a lot of people measure that in financial terms, because you can measure that when you're starting out, measuring your progress in basically setting it out as an amount. But later on, that shifts basically. As I said, with our clients and stuff, it shifts to more having an impact with your clients instead of just focusing on the money. Because funny enough, the money just comes. If you're really in the right space and you're doing it for the right reasons, the money will follow. It's a difficult thing to say in the beginning. It's horrible to start off sometimes with that mindset, because you're thinking, oh, but I need the cash, and you can't get desperate. And I think I had inconsistency of what I exactly wanted and how I'm going to get it for clients. But that helped. Well, that changed as our clients got results and we saw what we're doing for them and what we're helping them. So you've got more consistency, more processes in place, because that's a big thing also, getting processes in place for your clients. That was a big thing we also saw. As soon as you can get them processes sorted, you can get yourself sorted at the same time. So inconsistency, I think we worked on really well. We worked on hard to get that going, getting consistent results, not just peaks here and there and a funnel working here and there. It's getting actually consistent results for myself and clients. So and also a bit of scarcity mindset. As I said, when you're starting out, you really want to make some cash, and your mind is just, I want to make cash, and you get this scarcity thing of, I'm not going to spend cash on a coach, I'm not going to spend cash on this, because I just want to accumulate and basically get results and whatever or get more money. So that's where scarcity came in for me. I had a very limited belief about how money works, and that immediately changed me as soon as I have a mentor now at the moment. I've had him for a few years now. It's been really helping me just to get over those hurdles of how I should see how money should work and how I should see money. And as I said, if you start looking for it, it's most likely not going to find it, because you're looking so hard for it, and the desperation, people can actually smell that desperation on you at the same time. Because even though they can't see you or see what you're doing, it comes through in your funnels. The stuff you say and the stuff you do, it comes through there. And yeah, shifting that mindset and that belief on how you see just overall the scarcity mindset of not sharing content, not going out there and helping people, not doing stuff for free a bit more. Don't overstrain yourself doing stuff for free. That's not advised, because you're going to burn out, as we said. But just being open to contributing more, because you'll be amazed how much come back to you. So that mentality I had to work on really hard in the beginning. That's a few years back, luckily. So, but now I've shifted that mindset. It's more of an abundance side of it and a producer mindset instead of just consumption the whole time. So those are the two ones I can point out to myself immediately almost. So
Yeah, I think it's important. Like you said, in consistency, you have to develop patterns to succeed. So if you want to scale anything, you need to develop a process and continually follow that process. And if it starts not working, refine it and pivot. And then like the money thing, it's easier said than done, like you said in the beginning, because you have bills to pay, you want to scale. But if you do the right things, you're passionate about what you do, you keep learning, you add value to a community, you demonstrate your expertise, eventually, down the line, that will come.
Yeah, it comes. It takes a while. And some people get it within a short amount of time. When I'm saying short amount, I don't speak about a day or two. It comes over time. It takes, and some people maybe sometimes what you're doing is not working. So maybe shift what you're doing, maybe, or try a few things. That's usually what funnels people do, I think. Or usually when people try and sell through a funnel or sales funnel, it's because the product's not selling, they think, people just don't like it. And it's most likely your message or your offer that's not speaking to people. So shift your message, shift your sales message, and see what is people reacting to you. What is people actually, what makes people shift their mindset to you or shift their attention to you. So that kind of thing. So yeah, I've just found that it's really very, very important just to start with.
Yeah, I agree. So what's one piece of advice you have for the audience, personal or professional?
Well, personal, I would say set your goals. Definitely, everybody speaks about goals. I know it's 2020 now. Everybody's going to set goals. I would say do bite-sized goals for yourself. Don't go look at your 32,000 view of where you want to be, and let that be like a goalpost to you in the distance. But remember that to get there, you need to take step 1, step 2, step 3 before you get there. So start small with your steps, very small, I think. And then at the same time, look at who's doing it out there already. So don't just go and floppy around and try and don't be scammy. It's very difficult these days to not be scammy. I know some people, they've been taught by a lot of gurus out there and automatically they're scammy, but they don't even know they're doing that. And it's a very hard thing to say and a very difficult thing to say, but it is out there and there are people out there. But do your research and get a coach, get a mentor, or if you're running your business like online business, see what I usually also say is see what you're doing in your business. Maybe that's maybe a better idea to explain it. See what you're doing in your business, line it out for yourself. Line out what you're doing in your business, every single thing you're doing. Then think about, is there a process to that thing that you're doing? Is there a process or system behind it? Then you can say, okay, so what is the process I usually do? Map it out for each and every single one of it, and think about which are the things that you don't like doing, and see how you can outsource that. Now, it might be painful in the beginning to put the cash out for that, but immediately what it does is it frees up your time to focus on the stuff you do like, and you know you can grow your business with. So that's usually what I try and work with. Initially, when we start working with clients, is to talk about that on a professional basis. I can give advice on that. You kind of see what's your vision, then going back at what you're currently doing, mapping it all out, and then looking at what you're doing, what you can outsource or give to an agency or get a VA into your business, to kind of take that off your plate. Because most likely what's happening is you're doing a lot of the stuff you're not liking to do. And at the same time, then what happens is when you get to the stuff you like doing, you're burned out because of the stuff you've just done and you don't like it. And it strains you. And I know in the beginning when you're starting out, it's very difficult to get all the stuff in place, but it takes time and patience. But as soon as you can, try doing that. Get the load off you in that sense. Hopefully that gives them some advice there.
Yeah, I agree. I think at some point, if you're a solopreneur or you have a small team, getting things off your plate as fast as possible allows you to grow and focus on the things you love doing, like you said.
Yeah, it's very difficult to do that. We've got a client that we've been working with now for a few months now, and the big thing for her was when we initially started working with her, she's been doing everything, and she's doing 100K of sales a month and upwards. Which is amazing how she got there on her own, but she's a machine, but she's burned out. Like she is burned out. And she's got anxiety problems because if something breaks, she's the only one that used to fix it. So she has to run everything. And we came in now and we put a lot of systems in place for her. We look at the funnels, look at the whole business structures, what she's doing in the funnels, how she's selling things, looking at how she's doing promotions, everything like that, running her campaigns. And what it allowed her to do, she actually went on a cruise just after that because she needed a break. And what allowed her business was still running, and the business was still doing sales. But this is maybe not the best example. She's doing a very good sales and everything. But what it taught us is basically she really had a difficulty passing over the baton, basically, or what you want to call it anyways, give over control of some of her services, because she's been doing it for such a long time. It was very difficult for her. But as soon as she saw the bit of freedom she got and allowed her to be more creative about the products she creative about what she's doing and what she wants to do, that actually now in turn now is getting her more money now. She's doing more sales and more stuff just because of she can now go back and build relationships with people where we're focusing on the automation side of things and just making sure that everything is running and sales are happening. That's the important thing for her. So, but yeah, it just came back to the whole thing of the anxiety of getting over control, which is difficult. It's not easy. I myself, I'm a control freak in that sense, so it gets difficult. But people do make mistakes. Whenever you train them, it's going to happen. They make mistakes. It's difficult, and it happens more often than you think. And the only thing is being very transparent with your employees or people you employ or your agencies you work with or the VAs you have. Being very transparent in the sense of being, if they make a mistake, they should immediately come to you and say it. Don't be that guy that if somebody makes a mistake, you break them down to the point where if they make a mistake, they're going to try and hide it. That's going to hurt your business so much more. We saw this so many times where we had VAs doing things and they tried to hide it because they were so afraid of making a mistake and losing their job where if they actually just came out immediately, showed us the mistake, we could have fixed it, and it would have been a long line of mistakes could have been stopped. So yeah, maybe I'm getting off tangent there, but yeah, that's so yeah.
No, I definitely agree. So I really appreciate you stopping by today. Can you let the audience know how they can find you?
All right. Thanks, man, for that, actually. My surname is going to be very difficult to pronounce or get it right. So I would say if you want to, you can go check out my podcast. I've got two, funny enough. We've got one, the Virtual Marketer, launching pretty soon. And we've also got the Sales Funnel Society. So Sales Funnel Society is a bit more focused on sales funnels. So what is the industry doing at the moment? All our clients we're working with, what's working, what's not working for them, and all the tips and strategies you can use in your business. And the Virtual Marketer is a bit more broad, speaking about, as we're doing now, a bit of lifestyle. It's focusing on health, wealth, and relationships in the broader terms of how you can keep yourself well. As a virtual marketer, I just keep in contact with people, how you build your business at the same time, and also keep healthy. So yeah, and then if they want to, they can go to my Facebook group, which is called the Funnel Society. They can check that out on Facebook, or they can go to consultfunnels.com. Also, we're happy to chat. Anytime you can reach out, we're happy to do a conversation with anybody if you need advice. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks again for stopping by.
Awesome, man. Thanks, Roman. Really appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Hey everyone, this is Roman Prokopchuk from Roman Prokopchuk's Digital Savage Experience podcast. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free, so that's always good. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
This podcast has been brought to you by Nova Zora Digital. Find out how Nova Zora Digital can help your company grow online. Learn more at novazoradigital.com. Until next time, all you digital savages.